A pleasant day to everyone. For our lesson, we have customer focus. And these are the objective. At the end of this module, your student will understand who are our customers and what are their needs. We can also identify the basic requirements of our customers. We can also determine the benefits of meeting customers' expectation, and we can also analyze the customer's perception about the quality. I'm going to discuss what's the customer orientation, and we also have two models, which are the American Customer Satisfaction Index, and we also have the Keno model for customers' need analysis. Now, let's talk about who are our customers. So, customers in sales, commerce, and economics, a customer, sometimes known as a client, buyer, or purchaser. They are the recipient of the goods or services or a product or an idea obtained from a seller, vendor, or supplier by a financial transaction or exchange for money or some other variable consideration. In general, a customer is a party that receives or consumes product. It's either these are goods or services and has the ability to choose between different products and suppliers. In quality control, a customer is an entity within a firm who established the requirements of a process, for example, accounting, and receive the output of the process, like for example, the financial statement, from one or more internal or external.
Right. So, based from Don Peppers and Martha Rojo, sabi po nila sa magazine, no, the Fast Company magazine, last July 2005, entitled Customers Don't Grow on Trees. Sabi nila, without customer, you don't have this. So, somehow it's true, no? If the customer doesn't buy product from us, we don't have any transaction, we cannot produce any product, and we cannot also get paid for whatever the product that the business is producing. And also came from the Executive Director of Global Quality Strategy and General Motors. So sila po yung mga nag-supply ng mga skin. So based on them, if the customer is satisfied with the whole experience with the product, then you have a quality product. So ano nga po ba yung satisfaction? Ano nga po ba nagkakaroon ng customer satisfaction? We all know that the customer can satisfy if we exceed their expectation. Okay, in example of customer focus, so ito po yung number one is the customer needs. Ano nga po ba yung customer needs? So, pag sinabing customer needs, these are the products or services that the businesses always develop. Okay, so ito yung mga dinadevelop na product or services para po ma-meet yung tinatawag na customer needs. So, ano nga po ba yung mga customer needs na yan? Sabihin na po ba yung mga kailangan ng customer? It's either they buy the product because of the function, they buy the product because of the price, they buy the product because it's accessible for them to buy that. The firms or businesses need to focus on the product improvement, even when the improvement doesn't desired by customers. Because, again, yung desire ng customer, hindi naman po yan wala naman po yan ang hangganan. Meaning, time to time, the business always need to improve their product and services. Next naman po, we have the customer preferences. So, pag sinabing customer preferences, paano po ba nag-view ni customer as individual yung product mo with different preferences? For example, binibili ba sila ng product mo because they are motivated? Maybe your product is about health. Maybe your product is about healthy living, no? Dahil nga nag-diet sila, they are motivated to buy your product because that is their preferences. Or it's either your product is have a style, or let's say your product mo meron siyang it show the personality of a certain person. So that's why they are buying your product. Or it's either the customer preferences is the brand itself. Yung tawag natin na branded, no? And even some color. Maybe yung product na yun yung favorite niyang color. So yun yung mga tinatawag natin na customer preferences. Again, customer preferences is how the customer view your products. Next naman po is the customer experience. Okay, what is customer experience? This is going beyond customer needs. As a business, we need to look that to we need to look that deeper to our customer journey. So, ano po ba yung mga bagay na kailangan natin consider? This definitely requires everything to be designed for customers, including things like processes and even the user interface. So, paano po ba nagkakaroon ng customer experience? How business do a lot of work for them the customer aware about the product. So yun, nalaman nila or let's say nagkaroon sila ng awareness about the product, and then after nun, no, na nagkaroon ng awareness si customer, somehow gusto niya pang karoon ng deeper understanding about the product. So the customer have deeper discovery. And then once the customer think that the product is needed, that's the time po na magkakaroon siya ng purchase or bibili niya yung product. And then kapag ka nabili niya yung product, automatically, ay may experience na po yung paggamit ng product. And then, once the customer experience the product, the customer can be also participate on how the product can be improved. So like for example, di ba ngayon, because of the struggle or because of the challenges that we encounter with different telecommunication, ayan, nagkaroon tayo ng new player, which is yung tinatawag natin na Dito. So si Dito, ayan, naging aware ang Philippines or naging aware ang Filipino na magkakaroon ng new telecom, which is the Dito. So some of us, sinearch natin, ano ba yung Dito? Magkaano ba yung singil nila? Gaano ba sila kabilis? So, nung nagkaroon na ng dito sa Philippines, may mga satellite na sila. So, nauna yung mga provinces like Cebu. So, some of Cebuanos, they already purchased and experienced the product. So, kapag dumating yung time na kung saan kinakailangan ni business na mag-upgrade ng kanyang service, so, nagkakaroon ng participation ng consumers by having maybe the dito company will give survey, so sa survey na yun, they can determine what are the customer experience using the product and how the business can improve their services. Next naman po, we have the voice of the customer. Ayan. So, paano daw po ba natin malalaman kung anong klaseng customer ang ating customer? Okay. Dito, nagkakaroon tayo ng false. Yung false na yun, ito po yung based from the customer experience. Like for example, ang customer po ba natin ay tinatawag na lead user. Pag sinabing lead user, sila po yung hindi pa lumalabas yung product, yung mga tinatawag na pre-order. Okay? Sila na yung gusto mag-purchase. So, ito yung mga customers na concerned. They really drive innovation and also design. And next naman, for customer advocates, yes. In customer advocates naman, it's how we paying certain employees to present the interests of our customers as opposed to the firm. So this can also be used to drive change to processes, product in terms that are difficult for customer to champion itself. So somehow may mga agent kasi tayo na empleyado na ng mga agent. So yung mga agent na yun, they are represented by the customer interest. Kumbaga dahil siya yung agent, somehow si agent nagkakaroon siya ng needs attachment. Pag sabi needs attachment, ano ba yung kailangan ni customer? So siya ngayon yung nagpo-push para magkaroon ng ganitong product or available product for the customer. For number 6, we have the quoting code na tinatawag na customer is always right. Yung customer is always right is not about bad term, na pag si customer nanira, tama yung ginawa niya. It's not about that. Pag sinabing customer is always right, this is how business develop a culture of respect for customers with principles such as customer is always right na. So kapag kasi customer ay, let's say, nag-raise siya ng concern about the product, okay, hindi siya naging happy or hindi siya nasatisfied. Okay, so somehow si business kino-consider ito. Bakit? Kasi nga, again, si customer yung naka-experience ng product natin. And for the last, we have the metrics. Yung metrics po, this is a measurement or tools on how we measure. Ano po ba yung mini-measure natin? These are the results, no, in terms of the customer, such as how the customers acquire or gaano ba willing si customer maggastos or gumastos para lang makabili ng product or ng produkto mo. Alright, next is we have or how we can identify our customer. So first we have the so-called consumer. Sa ating consumer, again, they are individual who consume the products and they purchase it's either occasionally or let's say palagi kasi nga maybe the products are consumable in a daily basis. Next naman po is the internal customers. Sino nga po ba yung mga internal customers natin? So, in a simple definition, when we talk about internal customer, is anyone within an organization who at any time is dependent on anyone else within the organization. So, the internal customer may be situational customers. This person always be the internal customer. They might be depending on someone inside the company at a specific time for a specific reason. So maybe once a week or even once a year. For example, an internal customer may be someone in payroll. This payroll person is dependent on the manager for previous departments to call in the specific time. If the manager is late or doesn't report payroll properly, then the payroll person can do his or her job, which is getting payroll check out on time. So the manager failed his or her internal customer. So this internal customer can be someone you work for as well as someone who works for you. At first, you might think that because she works for me, that I will always be her internal customer. So obviously, yung mga tinatawag natin na mga supervisor, yung mga bosses, they are dependent with their subordinates. Bakit? Kasi nga po, yung kanilang responsibility ay nakadepende doon sa magiging output ng kanilang mga subordinates. And for them to get right information and training so that the subordinates can do their best job possible. So they need to work together, yung mga tinatawag natin ng mga bosses and even yung mga tinatawag natin ng mga subordinates. So yung internal customers, it definitely refers with the employees inside. Next naman po is we have the external customers. So again, yung pag namin external, they're outside the business. It's either sila po yung mga investors, suppliers, and even yung mga consumers din natin or yung mga hindi rin masyadong madalas ng product natin. So, mga hindi po part ng organization. So again, yung internal, they are part of the organization. External are not part or outside the organization. Okay, how can we know or how we will identify those customers? Okay, may mga iba't iba tayong classification of customers. Ngayon, dahil may iba't iba tayong classification ng customers, meron din tayong tinatawag na sales perspective. Okay? So, ano-ano po ito? Okay, number one, we have the potential customer or yung tinatawag po natin na the potential pool. So, sino po ba yung mga potential pool na yan? So, sila po yung type of customer that is on a very beginning of your sales funnel. So technically, si Paul is not your customer yet. However, you should give them the full treatment and hopefully change that quickly. So si Paul is lead that needs or nurture. Now, how can you deal with Paul? You can deal with Paul on capitalize their interests by clearly showing them that they can get benefits once they buy your product. Next naman po is we have the new customer or we can call them the new Neil. So si new Neil, sila po yung mga tinatawag na customer na bumili or kabibili lang ng product, kaka-experience lang ng product, first time bumili ng product. So they are still learning the ropes of using your product. You need to do everything in your power to make that adoption period smooth. So, kailangan mapatunayan natin kay Neil na yung pagbili niya ng product ay worth it. So, even though you already made a sale, you can't leave Neil without any help. So, kailangan niya ng assistant. If he won't receive any, he may not find much success with your product. So, the time you have may not helping Neil will less valuable than the future business he may bring. So you can make sure that doesn't happen with the proper user onboarding. So after someone buy your product, you need to guide them and show them how to use it. So yung tinatawag natin na Neil, no? We can deal with them. Paano po? You can earn a long-lasting customer by investing a bit of your time into explaining how your product works and making sure the new customers know how to use it. And you can also do that with proper onboarding process. Kasi may mga customer na kung saan pag binili yung product, gusto nila. However, some of medyo hindi sila use or they are not familiar in using the product. So you need to guide them all throughout. For number 3, we have impulsive customer or we can identify them as impulsive EG. So, anong klaseng type of customer na po ba si EG? So, si EG po ay mabilis mag-desisyon. Kung gusto niya yung product, bibili niya ito agad. So, kung titignan mo, hindi po mahirap kumbinsihin si EG na bumili ng product. No need for you also to warm his lead out with the value proposition too much. What EG needs to buy something is clear and easy way to do that. So, the less step involved, the higher changes that a customer like EG will make purchase. Clear the way for EG and get rid of any distraction he may face to make sure you're not wasting that buying impulse when it comes. So, paano po ba tayo makakapag-deal kay EG? So, make sure nobody needs a manual to make purchase on your website. The less clicks and information needed to make a purchase, the better. So once po na nagtanong si AG about the product, you need to answer it in a short discussion. So just stick and tap on the information. You also need to provide the response quickly. If you take too long, the buying impulse will fade and EG will leave your website or leave your premises. For number 4, we have discount customer. O siya po yung tinatawag or let's classify this customer as discount Dan. So, sino po ba si Dan? Si Dan, no, binavalue niya po yung mga product na kung saan less ang prices. Hindi siya bibili ng product na feeling niya too much doon sa presyo nito. Dan is usually looking for some extra information on the exact condition of the deal or discount you are offering. You can also help Dan by explaining the deal and what he needs to do to use it. Once the deal runs out, it's very hard to keep Dan as a customer. If you are offering a service at a discounted price, then Dan will usually leave once the discount stops applying. To increase your chances to keeping Dan as a customer, you need to show him that he is not only getting a product at a discount, but he is also gets amazing customer service bundled with his purchase. So you need to provide added value that will make Dan think twice before switching to another company. So, paano nga po ba tayo makikipag-deal kay Dan? So provide all the necessary details about the deal to avoid any confusion. So then we also require help with entering a discount code or using a coupon. So make sure your team knows how to deal details. And for the last, we have the loyal customer, or we can say that these are the loyal Larry. So sino po ba si Larry? So si Larry po can also be your brand ambassador. Kasi all throughout, siya pa rin or stick pa rin siya doon sa product na meron sa business. So Larry and customer like him help you grow through word of mouth. He will recommended your business or product to his friend and family, sending a healthy stream of a new customers your way. You should try to leverage Larry's experience and learn what makes him so successful with your business. So when you have the chance, Miss Larry, which aspect of your product or business he likes the most. So take note of that and try to replicate that experience so that other customers can become your brand ambassadors also. Alright, next naman po is we have the customer segmentation. How can we segment our customers? Pag sinabing segmentation, dinidivide natin yung customers according to demographic. Pag sinabing demographic, these are the personal information that can affect on the buying behavior of our customers. Geography, it definitely means on the area or place ng customer. Paano po ba natin masasegment ang customers based on location? So maybe on this area, kailangan nila ng ganitong product. However, this area cannot purchase this kind of product. Maybe because of the culture factor, social factors, and so on. Volumes naman is may mga customers kasi na bumibili ng mga tingi, retail, or even yung mga tinatawag natin na wholesale. So, yun po yung tinatawag na volume, dami ng pagbili nila. Also need to segment them. Kaya nga po, di ba, lalo na sa mga cashier yan, may mga pila yan, yung nakahiwala yung pila ng mga naka-cart, nakahiwala yung pila ng mga naka-basket. It deals with the volume or how the customers buy. It's either bulk or it's either few. When it comes to vital few and useful many, ano po bang pinagkaiba nito? Pag sinabing vital few in customer segmentation, konti lang yung bumibili, pero yung binibili nila madami. However, pag sinabi namang useful many, okay, madami yung bumibili, pero konti lang yung binibili ng customers. So, kailangan din po natin itong i-segment. And for the last, we have the profit potential. When it comes to profit potential, okay, this is a traditional approach of every businesses. So, paano po ba nagkakaroon ng segmentation? This is based on the product and services, involves examining what products sell the most and also compare them to the product that generate the highest margin. So, if your best-selling product are the most profitable, then you can produce more product that fit that criteria or find additional sales channel through which you can provide your product. Alright, next naman, we also have the product segmentation. How can we segment our product? So, kung mapapansin po ninyo, ayan, we have here the example. So, like for example, this one. So, these are the different brand of motors, yung mga sasakyan na nakasegment. Okay? So, yung mga sasakyan nila, may mga different model yan. Yung model na yan, nakadepende doon sa magiging need ng customer. So, kung ano yung magiging need ng customer, yun yung bibili nilang type or brand of motors or brand of a car. It's also same thing with the phone, no? Yung phone natin, marami siyang model, marami siyang brand. So, again, it depends on what kind of features, what kind of benefits na pwedeng maibigay ng smartphone na ito doon sa ating customers. Yung example naman po nitong mga ito, itong mga sabon na ito, we think that Ariel, Titans, we think that they are competitors. However, they are not. They're just one umbrella. So, ginagawa ito ng mga businesses para po magkaroon sila ng tinatawag na segmentation. Okay, so yung mga customers na yun, yan, hindi pa rin mawawala sa kanila. It's also same thing with Unilever. So, kasi natin, akala natin, kakalaban sila, but they are not. Okay, again, they segment their product according to customer needs. So this time, we have the key product quality dimension. Ang tinatawag po natin yung principal dimensions of quality. So, ano po ba yung perceive the customers to this product? First is we have the performance. How the product perform, no? Yung function po ba niya ay talagang gumagana, or let's say yung function po ba ng isang product is well executed. So, ito po yung mga tinatawag natin na primary operating characteristics. So, kapag bumili ka ng product, you are expecting na ito yung gamit. And this product also perform this kind of function or this kind of works. Next naman po is we have the features. Ang features naman po, ano ba yung features ng isang product? Is it just for decoration? Because if this is just for decoration and there's no use, so hindi po ito magugustuhan ng customers. Whatever the features of the product, it must be useful and essential. For number 3, we have reliability. So when we talk about reliability, it's how the product perform its intended function. So kung ano man yung use niya, dapat yun yung maging gamit nito in a specific period of time. For example, gamot. Ayan. Example, gamot. So kapag uminom ka ng gamot, so may mga specific time siya kung kailan mawawala yung sakit na nararamdaman mo. So meaning that drugs or that medicine is reliable. Next naman is for conformance. When we talk about conformance, this is how well the product or services or a system meet specified standard, or let's say specific characteristics ng isang product or services. For number 5, we have durability. So durability is the amount of use before a product or service is no longer usable, and purchasing a replacement is the preferable or only solutions. Like for example, the expected lifespan of a light bulb. So obviously, kapag pundido na ito, kailangan ng palitan. So sabihin hanggang ganun lang siya katagal. It's also same thing with some products. Kaya po may mga tinatawag tayo na warranty. So that the business can ensure that the product are durable. Next naman po is we have the service ability. So bakit po kailangan ito? Para po maging mais, or let's say yung serviceability natin, gaano ba kabilis mag-respond ang business kapag po nagkakaroon ng problem or challenges ang customers natin using our product. So like for example, service offer across multiple channels such as toll-free hotlines or through social media, or even an early provision of a self-service option. And last naman, we have the aesthetics. So how the products look good, smell nice. Okay, so aesthetics is a subjective view of a product. So it depends on the appearance, the smells, and how the feeling of a customer is using it. Like for example, the rich and full flavor of a food, the appearance of a service business offices, and even the website or a personnel. Next, let's talk about the key dimension of service quality. So first, we have the reliability. So when we talk about reliability, the customer wants to count on their providers. So they value that reliability. So don't provide any promises that you cannot accomplish or you cannot give. Next one is we have the assurance. So in assurance, service providers are expected to be expert on the service they are delivering. So if a service provider is highly skilled but the customers don't see that, their confidence in that provider will be lower. So in their assessment of the product provider service quality will be also lower. Intangibles, even though this is the less important dimensions or appearance matter, just not as much as the other dimension. So service provider will still want to make certain their employees' appearance, uniforms, equipment, and work areas on site. It's either this is closet, service offices, or etc. to make look good. So the danger is for providers to make everything look sharp and then fall short on reliability and responsiveness. In responsiveness naman, it's how the businesses respond quickly, promptly, rapidly, and immediately, or even instantly. So waiting in a day to return a call or email doesn't make it. Even if the customers are chronically slow in getting back to provider, responsiveness is more than 1/5 of their service quality assessment. So in service providers benefits by establishing internal SLAs for things like returning phone calls, emails, and responding on-site, whether it's 30 minutes, 4 hours, or 24 hours. It's important customers feel providers are responsive to their requests, not just to emergency, but everyday responses too. And building customer focus in our organization, number one, we need to make our customers feel that we are sincere with our commitments. Second, obviously, we always need to make sure the quality of our product to our customers. Next naman, for number three, we need to select and develop our customer contact employees. So yung mga agent natin, no, or yung mga sales clerk natin, they need to be more trained, no, on how to interact or how to deal with our customers. And for the last, we need to manage every complaints and even service recovery so that we can assess or we can guarantee that the customers complaints or let's say problems in dealing with our products or services can be addressed properly. Alright, so how can we measure if the customers are loyal? Number one, they are overall satisfied with our product or services. Number two, sila yung mga customer na kung saan they just buy on the first time, and then since they satisfied with the product, they repurchase. Next naman, they recommend our product. Number four naman, they are continuing purchase the same product or services. And for the next one, bibili sila ng product natin, yun nga lang nagkakaroon ng difference. Like for example, they are used to use our product A, so they want to try a new product from us. Next naman is kung before, dalawa, tatlo lang yung binibili nila, this time naman, they are just buying bulk. No? So yung mga tinatawag natin na maramihan. Maybe the customers are afraid na kung saan mawala ng stock sa business. Kaya bibili sila ng mas marami. And for the last, kapag si customer ay bumibili na sa ibang competitors natin, so that's also for us to determine that maybe our product are less satisfaction with our customers. So in that case, we need to improve our product.
Next is we have the American Customer Satisfaction Index, or the ACSA model.
We believe any company's long-term success relies on establishing and maintaining a strong base of satisfied customers. Customer satisfaction is a meaningful investment factor that can tell a lot about how a company will perform in the future. Despite this, many portfolios are built on backward-looking financial information. Our strategy intends to get ahead of that financial information by utilizing our data, provided by the customers themselves. That's why we introduced the American Customer Satisfaction Investable Index. The ACSI is the industry leader in measuring customer satisfaction and its relationship to a company's stock performance. Exponential ETFs utilizes this information to build a core investment strategy that allows investors to access this proprietary insight to outperform the broader U.S. stock market, which is typically measured by the S&P 500. This is accomplished by building a portfolio of companies across the U.S. economy, most highly regarded for their customer satisfaction. The ACSI has been generating customer satisfaction scores and analysis for over 20 years and believe these insights can help inform a robust investment strategy. Intuitive investment tactics paired with high-level analytics come together to create an elegant solution.
Next, we have the Kano model. So in here, it deals on how can we analyze the customer's needs. So as you can see, meron tayong 4 quadrant dito. Those are classified as the low investment and also higher investment or high investment by the company. And also we have the 2 types of customers. They are the customer's delight and also the customer frustration. So dito, okay, so meron tayong tinatawag na 3 levels of need. So these are the basic needs, which ito yung nakikita natin sa baba, yung kulay blue. This kind of needs or expectation are satisfying of basic need allows a company to get into the market. So since we're talking about the basic, okay, these are the basic features that the customers expect a product or service to have. Like for example, when you book a hotel, so you are expecting na doon sa hotel na yon merong hot water, malinis yung kama, even yung mga linen. So these are the absolute minimum on how can we expect for a certain hotel. And the next naman po about the needs is we have the performance needs. So yung performance needs naman po, ito yung makikita natin na color yellow. So yung yellow na line na yan, it represent that the satisfying of performance needs allow a company to remain in the market. So these elements are not absolutely necessary, but they increase a customer's enjoyment of a product or service. Returning on our example, which is the hotel again, you'll be pleased to discover that your hotel had a free super fast broadband, or let's say yung TV maganda, HD, or let's say you have your free Wi-Fi. Yan. So instead of having just a standard TV, so yung iba nag-offer din ng mga yung mga Netflix ganyan. So ito yung tinatawag natin na level of needs na kung saan pwedeng magkaroon ng mas mataas no na enjoyment or mas mag-increase yung tinatawag natin na customers enjoyment. And for the last, we have the excitement need. So ito yung makikita natin na red na line sa taas. So yung excitement need, satisfying of excitement needs allow a company to excel or to be a world class. So in the attributes no ng ating tinatawag na excitement, these are the surprise element that can really boost your product competitive edge or the business competitive edge. They are the features that the customers don't even know they want, but are delighted when they need to find them. So in the, for example, in the hotel, that might be finding a complimentary Belgian chocolate that the evening turn down service has left on the bed. So may mga surprises na kung saan mas ma-excite no si customer na mag-avail ng service, and because of this excitement, yan, nagkakaroon sila ng tinatawag na customer delighter. So nade-delight sila yung kanilang experience o yung kanilang level of needs. So dito sa ating Kano model, we have some steps no na intended para po ma-prioritize yung tinatawag natin na customer needs. So this model stated that the philosophy that the company must realize, okay, the customer's expectation or even the needs which vary over period of time. By the way, yung Kano model natin, okay, this is introduced by Dr. Norike Kano and his colleague during 1980s in Tokyo Rika University. So this Kano theory for some customers' requirements, customer satisfaction is proportional to the extent to which the product or service is fully functional. So going back with our steps, the first step no, for us to do the Kano model, first is kailangan magkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na brainstorming. So in our brainstorming, all the possible features or attributes na pwede natin ibigay or provide when it comes to our services and everything that the organization can do to please our customer. And for the second step, we also need to classify the three attributes. So it's either ito po ba ay basic, okay, ito po ba ay um, part ng performance, or these are part of the excitement features or attributes. And if necessary, no, cut out po yung mga, o tanggalin natin yung mga performance attributes na kung saan hindi naman siya talaga kinakailangan or hindi naman suitable sa product o sa services na ino-offer ni business. And for the fourth step, where possible, cut out all the attributes that are not relevant. So, dahil nga nagkaroon ka ng listing down, so in here, you need to manifest or you need to materialize na nawala na no, yung mga attributes ng services or ng product na kung saan okay, hindi makakatulong sa profitable ng iyong business. And for fifth steps, look at the excitement attributes and think how you can build some of this into your product or even into your services. Again, if it's necessary. Cut some performance attributes so that you can afford your excitement attribute. And for the last, select appropriate performance attributes so that you can deliver a product or service at a price the customer is prepared to pay while still maintaining a good profit margin. That's it. Thank you so much and have a nice day, everyone.